This video is brought to you by the Deck of Many and Humblewood.net. Welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. I'm Theo, and today I wanted to share with you the new animated spell cards from the Deck of Many. As you know, the Deck of Many is one of our sponsors, but we actually purchased these cards ourselves through their Kickstarter, which ended in October of 2018. We previously reviewed their other decks, which you can see by clicking on the eye in the corner of the screen. What makes these cards special is the animated spell effect on the front. Using lenticular lenses, they've animated each spell by creating an 8-frame looping animation. These cards are tarot-sized, so 120 millimeters by 70 millimeters, and they are spill-proof, so they should hold up well over time. If you like, you can also sleeve them using standard tarot card sleeves, and they'll fit in standard plastic binder sheets designed to hold tarot cards, like you might find in a Rook and Raven campaign diary or your own personal character portfolio. The Deck of Many folks are releasing the cards through the guidelines set in the Open Gaming license, which gives them access to only the spells included in the basic rules. But they do have a unique solution for those of you who have other spells you like to use. The decks we have here are divided by spell level, though they have mentioned that they're looking into bundling them by class as well. It just wasn't feasible during the Kickstarter because they didn't know how much money they would raise and they didn't want to leave any classes out. Most decks contain 30 animated cards, and most contain at least a few cards they call spellcraft cards. This is that solution I was talking about earlier. Each spellcraft card features a unique animation on the front, and then the back is blank for you to write in your own spell information. And they'll take dry erase markers so you can repurpose them as needed. Now, if the idea of writing on your cards is anathema to you, you can put them in some tarot-sized card sleeves and write on those instead. This is a great way for you to include homebrew spells or spells outside the Open Gaming license, like those in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. You have a whole host of different animations on the front of these cards. Now, the front of each spell card gives you the name of the spell, its level, its school of magic, the casting time, range, components, and duration. On the back, you have that same information up top, as well as the exact spell effects, some flavor text, and which classes can generally cast that spell. The spell effects are unabridged and contain everything you need to know to cast the spell. Since some spell descriptions are a bit long, some of the spells are divided over 2 cards, though each card still has a unique animation on the front. Let's go through each deck quickly to show you the contents. I don't have time to show you every card and every deck, but I'll show you my favorite from each. First, we have the Cantrips. For this deck, we have Minor Illusion, which has a nice effect of making a regular box look like a treasure chest, or maybe the other way around. Next, we have Level 1, Volume 1, which includes spells that start with the letters A through the letter F. From this deck, I really like Disguise Self, which shows a person shifting through several different guises. This is Level 1, spells G through Z. And Speak with Animals has a cute hamster on the front with a lot of things he wants to share with you. Next we have, this is Level 2, and Volume 1, spells A through H. From this one, I want to share with you Enhanceability. As you know, I really like animals, and this one features some subtle animations that work really well. This is Level 2, I through Z, or I think L through Z, and this has Prayer of Healing, one of those spells that's a bit hard to visualize. They represented it using these pillars of divine energy and a few divine runes. This is Level 3, Volume 1, spells A through M. And here, this card is Dispel Magic, showing the breaking of an arcane lock. I quite appreciate the attention to detail as the purple spell effect on the chain fades after the lock is broken, turning the chain gray instead. This is Level 3, M through Z. And this spell is Tiny Hut, which is exactly what you would expect, though I find it pretty cute. This is Level 4, all in one deck. And this spell is Greater Invisibility. I'm not sure how easy it is to see on camera, but you have one very petty use of a higher level invisibility spell here, but I think it's pretty cute. Then Level 5, one spell you hopefully won't have to use very often is Raised Dead, which not only brings the warrior back to life, but the roses around him too. And finally, we have the animated deck of many things. These were all done by a single artist, Kami, who you can find at Kare Kareo on Twitter. Look for the link in the description below. And this deck is gorgeous. If you ever plan to introduce the deck of many things into your adventure, this will make that special moment even more mind-blowing for your players. Here you can see the Jester card. It looks like this. And they're all in the same art style. And here's the card back. Reference cards in general are a good way to streamline your game. It's really handy to be able to refer to them instead of looking spells up in the source books or pulling them up on D&D Beyond. These cards just add that extra flair on top and hopefully make the game even more fun and magical for you and your players. And like we said in our last deck of mini video, there are several options out there for reference cards. While other decks like the ones from Gale Force 9 come at a cheaper price point, they're much more utilitarian and plain. The deck of mini is focusing on creating cards that are high quality and include a lot of pizzazz, but they naturally come at a higher price point. I personally love being able to hand these cards out to my players, especially if they're new to D&D. It really makes learning new spells an even more special moment to look forward to. These fit in the same category as the premium sets from Beetle and Grimm's. They certainly aren't necessary to have a fun adventure, but they are an extra bit of tactile and visual fun to enhance your imagination and add some color to your game. Like most everything we review on this channel, they're game enhancers that have the added benefit of streamlining play. Of course, like the Platinum Beetle and Grimm's sets, these are a premium product and the cheaper cards may suit your needs better, but it's certainly nice to have several options to choose from. And of course, you don't have to have reference cards at all, but I personally don't want to play without them anymore. Two things I do hope for. I think it would be nice to buy the decks by class. That way, if players want to invest in just the cards that they need for their character, they could do so without buying unneeded spells. And currently, this is more of an investment for the DM or maybe the adventuring party to do as a group. So next, I would hope that the deck of many folks are able to secure the rights to make cards for spells outside the basic rules. While these decks cover a lot of ground and the spellcrafting cards are a creative way to fill in any needed gaps, it would be nice to have access to all the spells currently in 5th edition D&D, all in the same format. And that's the deck of many animated spells. In the comments section below, let me know which spell you're most curious to see the animation for. There are some spells that just don't naturally lend themselves to visual representation, but they managed to find a way. We, of course, want to thank our sponsor, who didn't actually know we were making this video until like a day or two ago. The Deck of Many folks are releasing a new campaign setting book and adventure this fall called Humblewood. If you are a fan of reference cards, they're offering for pre-order a deck of 40+ reference cards for their new adventure, which will include all the monsters, NPCs, items, weapons, and magic spells that are featured in the adventure. And you can pre-order a deck of animated spell cards like the ones you saw here today, featuring the 10 new spells that they've created just for Humblewood. Check them out now and get your hands on the PDF of the adventure at humblewood.net. We appreciate all the support you've given us. Each time you like our videos and comment below, it helps others find us and helps us create more content for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.